We've got you covered all season long. Welcome to the BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Buffalo Wild Wings.
All right, here it is. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 30. Season 3, Episode 30 of the BCSN Nation podcast, powered by Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go, sports bar. Brandon Carnes here, Justin Feldkamp, and we've got our softball specialist in the house, Alyssa and Sarah, joining us throughout softball season. Welcome to the set, first of all. Second of all, I need you guys to give me some takes here because it's Ohio weather in the spring. It's unpredictable, and you're out there on the softball diamond, whether you're as a coach, Justin, or as your player perspective, Alyssa. Some advice to the local athletes and coaches as they're trying to manage 27, 50-mile-an-hour winds to 12-mile-an-hour cold days, warm days, all within 25 minutes?
Yeah, wear layers. Bring layers.
That's exactly what I had.
Quite simply
Dress
put.
in layers. You can always peel it off if you need to in the
There you
dugout. But yeah, you got to be prepared. I'm hopeful looking at, here Wednesday, looking forward in the next 7-10 days. We got 50s and above on the forecast. I love that. You never want to play with ski masks on when you're out there on the mound.
It works for Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah,
all right?
we did that out at Paceset earlier this week.
There you go. See, as you cut back to the three shots, let's go. Here we go. There's the knock on wood for the weather to stay the way we want it to, get some games, because you'll see later in the show, we got some games coming up this week. And of course, today, softball season gets rolling on the podcast. We'll get you all around the 419 to what to expect from every league and the teams in the area, best players, everything in between. And of course, our clip of the week by Renewal by Anderson and so much more. We'll make sure you're here every single Wednesday for a brand new episode of the podcast, 4 p.m. on BCSN, bcsnnation.com/podcast, or anywhere you get your audio mediums, Amazon, Apple, iHeartRadio, Spotify. We're everywhere. And we're also at BCSN Sports on all your social media pages, so you don't miss anything from Wednesday to Wednesday. And now it is Wednesday, and we're going to get started. We're starting, just like last week, in the NLL Cardinal, and you see it on your screen. The Blade Preview picks Springfield. We've got a graphic for who you guys picked. Oh, look, it's Springfield. Everybody, It's all synchronicity. We're good to go. Alyssa, explain to me your Springfield pick.
Springfield historically is always a strong team, great coaching, and just a lot of experience.
Justin?
Rob Guad's in his 24th season, 400-plus wins last check, and I think that what he's able to do, 464 wins.
Decent.
He has been a program builder and a program sustainer. He has had multiple generations of players. 𝗦𝗫𝗍𝗶 𝗏𝗏 is improved tremendously throughout the offseason. She is going to be relied upon for Coach Guad's. They got Cam Hall, Cam Eckert, Hannah Schlachter. They also have Kenya Crowley. So experience, a lot of the players, at the varsity level, in really any sport, at the high school level, it doesn't matter if you're a freshman or a sophomore. If you're one of the top 9, 12 players, you're going to play as a younger player, regardless of the upperclassmen. And that's what Springfield has done over the past 10, 15 years. And they have young players who get a lot of experience freshman and sophomore years. And now that pays off going down the road. So with the new division format, we've talked about this from the fall to winter, now to the spring, Brandon, with the fact that going from 4 divisions in softball to 7 divisions now, you got Perrysburg in Division 1, Anthony Wayne in Division 2, Springfield in Division 3. Previously, all of them met usually somewhere in the postseason, whether that was at the district or the regional level. That is not the case anymore. We could see those 3 teams go on deep playoff runs in each of their respective divisions. But Springfield is definitely my pick in the Cardinal division.
𝗦𝗫𝗍𝗏 gets to come into the season now. She is the number 1, right? Last year it was replacing Maddie Yaki, figuring out where she fit in the mound. She is comfortable and ready to go, but ready to challenge them. Number 8 team in Division 2, Clay. And they're ready to go because Coach Brenda Radebaugh does not mess around in the softball field.
Coach Brenda, another veteran. I mean, she's been around for a minute.
With loaded talent.
To your point, she's got, 6 returning starters?
Yep.
Yeah.
So they're definitely in a good spot.
Yeah, Bryn Ryder, Olivia Haas, Madison Frankie all come back for Coach Radebaugh, all returning all NLL players. And then you've got Bowling Green, Napoleon, Fremont Ross, and Southview, all with returning talent, but a lot of youth mixed in with that, with a lot of experience that has happened throughout the season, Justin.
Yeah, with Clay, I think that they are also a tradition-rich program.
Absolutely.
She's also in her 24th year, so when you talk about Coach Guad's and Coach Radebaugh going head-to-head in many cases. Yes, Clay was in the track for a number of years, but still Northwest Ohio versus Northwest Ohio there. I think that with Clay, just short of a 21 season, one win short of a 21 season last year, they are going to be contenders and I think could challenge Springfield with BG Napoleon also in there. But I think Springfield takes care of business this year in the Cardinal Division.
If you haven't checked out the Bobcats game yet, go make sure you're there when Zoe Zeems is on the mound because she is a stud for Bowling Green. Springfield tabbed to win, hopefully their second in a row if you're a Blue Devils fan of the Cardinal Division. Now we're going even bigger. We're going to the Buckeye side of things. And this graphic is not a copy from last week. Anthony Wayne, the top favor in the Buckeye, just like they were in baseball. And I mean, we've said it in football, we've said it in basketball, we've said it in baseball. We're back here in softball. This is a great time to be an Anthony Wayne Generals fan, family, area member, no matter where it is, Justin.
100%. The top teams, Anthony Wayne and Perrysburg in the Buckeye. We're going to find out who's legit
Spoiler
on the
alert.
field Wednesday. This podcast airs Wednesday at 4 o'clock. The game is at 5 o'clock. So the fact that we get to decide it on the field besides these pieces of paper right here is terrific. So you got 29 wins for Anthony Wayne last year. They graduated a ton, the Myers sisters at Michigan and OU, oh yeah, go Bobcats. So with them having Molly Connor as the supreme talent in the area when it comes to inside the circle, she's a University of Notre Dame commit headed to South Bend next season. She threw a perfect game earlier this week against Whitmer. She threw a no-hitter against Wapakoneta the weekend before. She hit a home run in the same game in which she pitched a perfect game. So she is well-deserved of that D1 college-level recruit status. I think with this Anthony Wayne and Perrysburg's rosters comparison here, Alyssa, I think the rosters are very similar as far as the talent, as far as the D1 recruits, as far as the experience. The coaches are both superb. What I think the difference is, why I give Anthony Wayne a slight edge, is Molly Connor in the circle.
Yeah.
She is, I think, I don't want to say far superior than the best pitcher for Perrysburg, but there's at least some gap there. And I think when it comes to softball and especially tournament time, pitching obviously matters. So I'd give them a slight edge, but I'm really looking forward to this Wednesday 5 o'clock matchup.
I am extremely excited for tonight's game. As an Anthony Wayne alum, obviously this is the game.
Yeah.
It always has been as long as I was at A-Dub and seems to still be the case. I mean, Anthony Wayne, historically strong team with, I don't even know how many Division I kids have gone through there in the past couple of years under Ron Myers. Perrysburg the same way. DeMar's strong team with Little Griggs. Haley Griggs. The Florida State commit. So, I mean, you got talent on both sides. And to your point, you aren't just looking at Molly Connor. You know, you have Piper Phillips right behind her, too.
Yeah, that is a talent-laden team in the NLL Buckeye. Number 2 in Division II, as I said, Anthony Wayne. Number 3 in Division I is Perrysburg. But then you've got other teams like Whitmer looking to challenge. Olivia Munoz, Reagan LaPointe leading a strong junior group for the Panthers who got perfect game, but it was only a 4-0 game, right, against Anthony Wayne. So they're in it, you know, at least on the defensive side of things. They did not get run over by a team that we expect to run over a lot of teams as the season goes on. Finley, they've got Lainey Oliver cleaning it up. We know what she can do in the wrestling match. She's going to hit some out of the park on the softball diamond. And then Northview and Finley had a battle on Monday. 16-15 was the final score. You want to go check that one out. Don't miss out on it. Callie Eckel had a grand slam in the fourth. 10 runs the Wildcats put up in a singular fourth inning in a comeback against Finley. So the NLL Buckeye, plenty of talent, and it's top to bottom, right? There's somebody who can make a difference on every single team in the Buckeye.
Yeah, in that Finley-Northview game, Northview was down 12-2 in the fourth inning. So that is right there the epitome of don't give up until the final out is made. But yeah, I think that those teams are taking progressive steps up. I think they got some good leadership at both of those respective schools with the Trojans and the Wildcats. And I think also with the fact that Whitmer, that no-hitter, the perfect game that Molly Connor threw, you know, we occasionally see those in 5-inning games where one team is clearly superior than the other, but that was not the case. This was a 4-0 game against Whitmer, a team that the Wagoners leading the helm there, and the fact that it was a 4-0 game and the young team that Whitmer has,
Yep.
they challenged a very good Anthony Wayne team. So that's just a moral victory in this sense. I know
Sure,
the coaches don't love those, but still, at some point, you got to say, hey, look what we just did against one of the top teams in the area. We hung with them, and that's how you take those incremental steps, especially with younger players. But Perrysburg and Anthony Wayne are going to be the two at the top, in my opinion, in the Buckeye.
All right, Molly Connor already making her stamp to be the BCSN Female Athlete of the Year at BCS Honors. I'm going to put that in as my nomination before we even start the softball season fully. So we'll let that be marked down. You can tab it on the podcast anywhere you need to. But for now, 30-second break. We're going to hear from B-Dubs, and we'll be right back.
Buffalo Wild Wings buy one, get one free boneless Thursdays saved me so much cash. I can finally do everything I've ever wanted in life, like skydiving. You ready? No, this was a mistake, a huge mistake. I want to go back. Go, go, go! Yeah, I'll probably just use the money I saved to get more buy one, get one free boneless wings at B-Dubs. No brainer. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
At participating locations, not valid with other offers or discounts. See website or app for details.
We're off to the Northern Buckeye Conference. And again, we've got a sweep in the NBC picks. Cisco got my graphic for me. Mommy. All right, Mommy, the consensus pick between Alyssa and Justin. But I'm looking at the breakdown of the NBC, and I'm beginning to think that NBC might stand for anybody can be champion. All right, That's my tab right now on this because Mommy returning 3 all-NBC players, Gugger, Coucher, Smith, but Lake tabbed to finish second, a very talented team. Oak Harbor had, 1 loss in the NBC last season, a great season, Final 4 for the state. They're tabbed to finish 4th. Otsego, another great team. They're 5th in Division 5 right now. Eastwood, 8th in Division 5 right now. This, I think, top to bottom is the most, somebody is going to win this. I don't know who it's going to be, conference and area.
Yeah, I think Northern Buckeye Conference, regardless of sport, it seems as if there's rarely a solidified, clear-cut winner because of the balance, because of the school enrollment, because of the tradition-rich programs in the rural parts of the Toledo area, of which many teams are constituted here in the NBC. But Mommy had its first 20-win season ever, traditionally been a part of the Northern Lakes League. We've talked about that quite a bit with a variety of sports here. But with the benefits of the move from the NLL to the NBC, you gain some more momentum with some more victories. And I think you got to look at the big picture sometimes and say, okay, well, when you're getting those victories, people want to be a part of winning, Alyssa. And you saw that at Anthony Wayne. So when you see that, you get 7- and 8-year-olds, their families coming to a game and seeing what they can do at Rolfe Park and being a part of the culture that they're trying to build there. With Coach Brian Jones has done a terrific job, a great leader of the Panthers. And I think that it's allowed a little bit of a balance of power because to the counterpoint of that, though, is the NLL helped provide elite level competition that Maumee faced year after year after year. And we saw some times where Maumee, a smaller division school when it comes to the postseason, they took all their lumps during the regular season, but that paid off when they went up against similar enrolled schools in the postseason, and they went on some deep playoff runs as a result. But regardless, the past is the past, and they're in the present now, and they're the pick right now in the NBC.
Yeah, as you said, Coach Brian Jones, a lot of experience in the NLL over the years and playing those teams like Springfield, Perrysburg, Anthony Wayne, getting those reps and only benefits them. And as you said, this is an incredible conference as far as talent goes. I mean, this is going to be really exciting to see who wins.
Yeah, this reminds me of like when we're watching the TAC on the basketball side of things. We're like, somebody's going to win this. It might be the last weekend of the season, but there's so much talent, right? Otsego got Riley Rowe, a Flagler commit. She was second team All-Ohio last year. And like your teams that are not tabbed to finish first, second are the teams that are fifth in the state, eighth in the state as far as Eastwood and Otsego go. So I don't know how this one's going to shake out, but I will be paying attention to the anybody can be champion division as the season rolls on. You can tab that as my other pick. Molly Connor, BCSN Female Athlete of the Year. Anybody can be champion. Those are my two quotes for the day. And now we got into a clip of the week brought to you by Renewal by Anderson. Cisco, hit it. Here we go. Clip of the week. Alyssa's pretty familiar with this one. She was there. Central St. Ursula. You see the score, 6-5 Central.
Wow.
No, 7-6 Arrows. Their first lead of the game is the walk-off winner, 𝗦𝗫𝗍𝗵𝘁𝗹𝘆, the heads-up base running. See that ball get past and say, I trust my wheels. Let's go. What a play. What a way to end a great game.
I love it. St. Ursula had aggressive heads-up base running the whole game, which was really exciting to see. They obviously capitalized on it right there. Again, heads up. But, I mean, St. Ursula was down this whole game. They didn't come back. That was the first time they took the lead the whole game. Brooke Bowers tied it up. Forget what inning it was. Bottom of fourth, maybe, with a big home run. And they rallied behind her. It was really exciting.
I like the fact that besides the shortstop's throw home, not a clean play there, but catcher hustled back to the backstop to get the ball. Pitcher covering home appropriately. Sometimes at a coach, you got a split-second decision to make to send a runner or not. And Coach Rinaldi, I tell you what, in his first year there, not holding anything back, coming over from start, which we'll get to in here in just a second, but sending that runner home. And look, he just says, go, go, go. And you know what? You got the benefit of, even if she is out, the game is still tied. You can continue the game, so you do have that in your back pocket. But I tell you what,
foul.
I love the aggressiveness. You put the pressure on the defense, Alyssa, and sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't. But it does pay off right here. This is a great win against a rival. Colder conditions, but still playable conditions, and you get a victory. Lots of drama there. We're going to put that on the list of BCSN top plays and not only top plays, but top games of the softball season.
I was going to say, this calls us back to right at the beginning of the show. You want layers on the softball diamond. Look at this clip. There's layers. We've got people in hoodies playing shortstop. I'm going to blame the hoodie, all right? That's why the throw wasn't where she wanted it to be. The hoodie got in the way. She got a little tangled up. Otherwise, and great run. I love the base runner behind who had just scored the tying run. Get down. Get down. I love it. A lot of fun on this one. St. Ursula wins it walk-off fashion, 7-6 on their first lead of the game, the only one that really matters, because when it's over, you only need to score the most runs. You want more clips just like this, head over to our TikTok, at BCSN Sports. We got plenty just like it. You might even find this one on there. How about that? And now we got CHSL in the brain. We're talking Central and St. Ursula. We're staying with it. CHSL is where we're heading to next. Again, second season up in Detroit for the Toledo area teams. Irish Arrows and Eagles, oh my. Your picks for who is going to bring home the best team. Not necessarily I'm bringing home a CHSL crown, but the best CHSL team in Toledo. And for the first time, we're not unanimous. Justin, Central Catholic, Alyssa, taking SUA as her pick. Central Notre Dame, they're both going to play in the middle AA division of the CHSL. St. Ursula, the only team of the three in the upper division. And for St. Ursula, I think the biggest thing to look at is Coach Dominic Rinaldi coming over from start, right? The way we will talk about what he did at start a little more in the City League, but a huge addition for St. Ursula, somebody who knows winning championships.
Yeah, he was excited that there was a lot of numbers out when he made that transition and had his initial meet the community, meet the players' families, etc. He was pleased with that initial turnout, and he's hoping to grow the numbers there at St. Ursula. Win games like that against Central Catholic, and you can do just that. So I think the one-on-one relationships that Coach Rinaldi values, that's how he got to where he was at start with the consecutive City League championships, but coming over to St. Ursula, kind of a whole new beast and trying to learn a lot in a short amount of time. But as far as, figuring out who's going to be the best team of the trio here in the Toledo area within the Catholic League, indicative of what we just saw, close, tight games, one-run games down to the final sequence there. So I think with what he brings, but I still think with Central Catholic, I like the Coach Corey Bryan and what he's brought there. Right. He's been there, done that, and learned his roster a little more than Dominic Rinaldi at this point. So I think he's got some freshman twins, Mally Bragg and Milo Bragg, who I think can add quite a bit. And then he's got a number of other pitchers like Ellis Schuberg, who was really great, 1.79 earned run average, hit 536 in this league last year. So I think Central Catholic, for those reasons, is my pick, Alyssa.
Yeah, I get that. Ellis Schuberg had an outstanding game in getting the full Ohio spring special as far as weather goes against St. Ursula. But I don't know, in talking to Coach Rinaldi, the mindset that he was trying to instill in the team, and it seems like the team buy-in is there. They want to win, they think they can win, and they want to do what they can to prove that. And it kind of seems like he's taking the mentality that he established and implemented at start and bringing that over to St. Ursula. And I absolutely think that they have all the tools and all the capability of taking it. That said, Central is, as you mentioned, a strong team, a very well-coached team, and they do have strong pitching and a good lineup. So,
yeah, Central and St. Ursula both have already found success in CHSL, right? Central Catholic winning the Cardinal last season in the tournament. St. Ursula finishing as the runner-up in the upper division. But for Notre Dame, a young, talented roster, 6 freshmen on this softball roster. So there will be growing pains maybe earlier in the season. But when it comes down to the end of the season, we talked about it in every single sport. There is iron sharpening iron up there in the CHSL, and they'll come back down ready for OHSAA playoff time when that time comes around. You got one more point to add.
Yeah, just some of the names for St. Ursula and Notre Dame. Brooke Bowers, Sydney Hoffman for Ursula can be key contributors for Notre Dame. Coach Jason Baldwin, he's got seniors Jalen Baldwin, Lily Ogrodowski, and Peyton Shively. I think Shively, a shortstop, hit .512 with 7 home runs last year. I think that they're going to maybe surprise some teams or challenge. If you overlook Notre Dame, you might want to think again in the 5th inning when you're down 4-2 or something like that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the trio of schools and how they can compete.
And now we're heading to what is always a BCSN Nation podcast favorite, Taction. We love Taction. All right, and this one, we're back to consensus picks. Cisco, throw it up there. Yeah, Northwood's the consensus pick here. You go to the Blade preview for the preseason. Northwood also picked in the coaches poll. 2024 TAC champions looking for their 5th TAC title in a row. And when somebody in the circle for you is named Leah Wofford, you are feeling pretty confident, Alyssa, that the job is going to get done when you have a stud in the lineup.
absolutely. When you have someone like that in the circle, you walk into a game confident.
Yeah.
And if you've got the defense there to back it up and you can get the sticks rolling, I mean, you're pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, she was the top player in the TAC, the player of the year. I looked it up. She was on my first team all BCSN softball list last year.
Yes.
She's back again. So that was as a junior, now as a senior. And the fact that she also hit .606 first team honors. She's got teammate Shaylin Nestor, who hit .355 last year. Senior Elizabeth Casper, another name to keep an eye on. Northwood, clear cut within the TAC. I think this one, we were talking about our picks last year on the baseball side, or last week on the baseball side of the easier picks. I think with Northwood in the TAC, I think they were clear
Much like
cut,
Ottawa Hills is on
undefeated in the regular season last year, 6-0 in the TAC. I think they can replicate that.
But coming up to challenge them, right? We've got Emmanuel Christian because Ariella Morris, all TAC last season. You want to talk about Leah Wofford batting .608 or .606? Ariella Morris, .688 at the plate last season for the Warriors. If you're hitting 70% of the time on base, I'm going to take it 100% of the time. And what does that do, Alyssa? When you have somebody as a coach or as a teammate in your lineup that you're going, they're batting .688. I'm happy to be behind them in the lineup. Good chance to bring Ariella home.
Absolutely. .688, you got someone who's going to get on base, just having the people behind her to get her home and bat her in, just like you said.
Absolutely. You want somebody to back up that .688. I don't care what you're hitting behind that, but it's going to be good. And then you've got Stritch, TC, O'Hills, all senior-led teams with underclassmen contributors looking to make their way toward the top of the TAC standings, Justin.
Yeah, I think it was some of those teams, what they lack as compared to teams at the top is higher level pitching, above average pitching, where you might not be able to locate every single one of your pitchers or the velocity that you would see from a Springfield or an Anthony Wayne or from Northwood and Leah Wofford or from some other top teams in our area. You just don't have that type of pitching that you can count on. And like what Alyssa was saying, if you got a pitcher who is dealing and is consistent and can deliver each and every time, as a coaching staff, as a teammate or a shortstop or center fielder backing her up, you got the confidence in her to do what your team needs to do. And you just don't necessarily have that with some of those lower rung teams in the TAC.
Right.
But definitely room for growth. And I like some of the leadership that some of those schools have as they try to continue to build their program.
All right. Our pick is in for the TAC. It is Northwood. And now we are going to the City League. And you want pressure when somebody's on the mound for you. Well, there's pressure on start, right? 6 consecutive City League titles with Coach Rinaldi. Justin's saying they're going for 7. Alyssa says, wait a minute. Nailed it. absolutely crushed that. Wait, looking for their first City League title. They are the preseason favorites, according to the Blade coaches poll. And then the pressure, right, of start. You've won 6 in a row. Coach Rinaldi steps out. How do you fill the gap that he left as a coach and replacing the all City League players that they had to replace themselves?
I think with Start, prove it, because you got to take them down. So anybody else not named Start, you got to prove it. Yes, they got a new coach in Rob Vida, but I think that, yes, 5 starters, first-team All-City League players last year did graduate, but I don't think that the cupboard is bare for any stretch of the imagination for Coach Vida. I think that that championship pedigree and tradition
matters.
It doesn't just evaporate, okay? It's not like some water down by the third base line that evaporates with the sun and the wind. It is something that is part of a DNA of a team, and you see as a freshman or a sophomore, oh, that's how you win, because I just watched with my own eyes from the dugout through the fence of, oh, how do you make a key play when you need it, when you need a final out there, or you need a strikeout with a runner on third to keep a lead or keep a game tied. So I think that just doesn't go away. Yes, I like what Waite has done. They were 10-2 in the City League last year, and they got Coach Barton, who will be counting on some seniors like Alexis Avila. She hit nearly 500 last year. Destiny Garza will be a player to be reckoned with. Start doesn't have Miranda B., who was League Player of the Year last year for the Spartans, but I think that they'll have plenty to come back, especially with Hannah Richards. She hit 438, had some power. Sophia Moran, I think some key players for Start.
Your weight pick, Alyssa.
So, as you mentioned, Start does have that culture that's still there, and they still have juniors who know what it takes to win.
Yeah.
And I think that is an excellent advantage for Start. But I pick Waite. I don't know. They have been showing steady improvement over the years, and I think they're hungry. And I think they got a good chance this year.
No time like the present to bring home your first City League title if you are the Waite Indians. No time like the present to hit a quick 30 seconds from Buffalo Wild Wings. Cisco, you know what to do.
I've saved so much money enjoying Buffalo Wild Wings BOGO half-off traditional wing Tuesdays. I can finally afford everything I've ever wanted in life. Wings. All I ever wanted was more wings. So yeah, buy one, get one half-off traditional wings is the perfect deal for me and my lifetime yearnings. I value it more than literally anything. Buffalo Wild Wings. Let's go sports bar.
At participating locations, not valid with other offers or discounts. See website or app for details.
Let's go games list. All right, Midas, give me my games list.
Woo!
There we go. It's packed. We're busy. We're bumping. We talked about it earlier today. The marquee matchup on Wednesday. Anthony Wayne, Perrysburg meet up in softball. The number 2 team in D2, the number 3 team in D1, 5 p.m. You listen to us, you get yourself a nice little drink, and then you head over to the TV to check out Anthony Wayne, Perrysburg, High School Tennis, St. Francis Southview. And then tomorrow, playoff hockey is back in T-Town. Indy Fuel in town for the Walleye in round 1. That's not where we're done. Western Michigan taking on Toledo in college baseball. Perrysburg back in action tomorrow, taking on the top team in the Cardinals. Springfield, Northwood, and Toledo Christian in some traction. And then on Friday, playoff hockey. We're not done yet. Indy, Toledo, and then Clay O'Hills baseball. And let me catch my breath. Ball State and BG going at it in baseball. We are busy the next couple days.
Yeah, I'd like to talk to Coach Ryan tomorrow about back-to-back schedules against Anthony Wayne and then Springfield.
Tough
one
draw.
day after the other. You're going to have like a 22-hour break there. But looking forward to those matchups. That's why they're on BCSN, to the top 3 teams going head-to-head in each of those respective days, Wednesday and Thursday. Looking forward to the Walleye. We'll have BCSN coverage all postseason long here on the road and at home. So if you can't get down there, yep, that's right, Danny's Cafe in Rossford. You can watch all the games there as well. But Indy Fuel and Walleye met 4 times. Walleye had a slight lead, but it's going to be a battle through the entire first round, I think.
Is there a game up there that stands out to you, Alyssa, as we hit the road?
Perrysburg, Springfield, Anthony Wayne, Perrysburg.
There you go.
Tough to argue. She makes great points. Alyssa and Sarah joining us every week right here during softball season. Justin, of course, he'll be here. Next week, we go back to baseball, and we're doing this every other week. Get used to it. This is the rhythm we're rocking with. Make sure you're here every single Wednesday at 4 p.m. for a brand new episode of the podcast. anywhere you get your audio mediums or bcsnedition.com/podcast. In the meantime, follow at @Doesn'tHelpCamp, follow at Alyssa Sarah, and follow at BCSN Sports, and we will see you next week.